Hey everybody, today we got a 6-card PSA reveal. This was gonna be a bond reveal, and then I recorded it, and for some reason it wouldn't upload, so just decided to redo it. It kind of sucks. It's not gonna be as good of reactions because I was genuinely surprised. The cards got what I expected them to get, but being some of the cards they were, I know PSA says they grade everything the same, but I know we've seen like evidence of potential pop control, even on some lower end cards if it's a particular player. So that's kind of what I was expecting. So lately, I know it's been months since I posted a video. I've been trying to more get rid of all of the bulk Pokemon. So we've taken, probably 70,000 bulk Pokemon. I've been sorting those, get them in the binders for my sunsets, get rid of those, and all the $1 to like $50 cards, which we had 1,000 or more of from all the stuff we've opened over the years. We got rid of all that, so I've been trying to consolidate stuff, then get stuff sent off that we want to send off, and try to be able to have an order coming back once or twice a month so I can throw a video up of it, and then potentially sell a few of the cards, which 2 of these were already sold. Because I posted them after I took the first video. They already sold. The other 4 I'm probably going to keep. I might sell one of them later, but usually try to keep a little bit of the stuff that we grade. So yeah, the first card is a Steph Prestige Rookie. So I actually picked this up with this, which I have 2 of these, but I picked it up with this for $1,900. So I was pretty happy with that because there's a couple sales of this that were pretty low because the guy listed it, I think, $2,500 at best offer and accepted $1,500, even though the last sales were $1,900 to $2,500. And then in November, when sales were down, one ended in bids for like $1,600, I think it was. But this card's average sale price in the last, year or so is like over $3,000, and they're about the same. So I figured for $1,900 to get this, and this was thrown in for free because it was about a $150 card raw, but I thought I had a good chance at a 10. So there it is. As you can see, it's really clean. It's like a hair off left to right if you look at from this dark line to the border and that dark line to that border. But it's just ever so slight. It's thinner over here than it is over there. But other than that, I didn't see anything. I got a 10. This is the one that I was super excited about. Wasn't really expecting them to give a 10, even on a lower end Steph rookie. So I was happy about that because that's what I expected it to get. That's what I thought it should have got. The next card is Hidden Fates Charizard. So this is off top to bottom if you go by the black lines. But if you go by the black lines, the back's perfectly centered. So usually when the back's perfectly centered, it's off top to bottom. So what I think is actually the border is like the rounded part of the tail. And I see a lot of PSA 10s that have the same exact centering. So I thought I'd send it because I have $120 in this, so 100 to grade it, $220. Even a 9's worth almost 400. We graded this because we bought a box of Evolving Skies, and I already accidentally showed the grade, so there it is, it got a 9. But we bought a box of Evolving Skies, pulled some good stuff, sold it to pay for the box, and we ended up trading the Umbreon back when the Umbreon was like 200 and $100, 120 bucks I believe it was for that. So 220 in it, so even a 9's good, but I've seen PSA 10s with the same centering where this bottom border is thicker, because I feel like it's really supposed to be the curvature of the tail, because on the ones that I've seen that are perfectly centered from this black line to the border on the front are off top to bottom on the back. So I don't know if some of them get 10s and some of them don't. It's just kind of a toss-up on this card, but I expected a 9, so I was pretty happy with it. Figured I'd send it in anyways. This one, I got at a local card shop for 90 bucks. So it made sense to grade it. We thought it would get a 10. It looked pretty good. There might have been like the tiniest little like surface imperfection right here on the back edge, but I was able just to take a microfiber and wipe it off, whatever it was. So otherwise it looked pretty good. It's centered pretty good. I think in the case it looks a little bit off center, but it's pretty well centered. It's just a little bit further on this side of the case, so it makes it look off center. But it did get a 10. So let me see if I can move that over. They put it in the case a little to that side, but yeah, see, it's pretty good on the centering. It might be about 55 on this side, 45 on that side, but as long as you're 60-40 on the front and 70-30 on the back, you're good. That's definitely one I like. Don't know who to block back there. This one is the Rainbow Pikachu. I got this at a card show I set up at. It's almost perfect, really. So I thought it had a good chance at a 10, but I thought it might get a 9, and I'll show you why. And it did get a 9. But the reason I thought it might get a 9, so I can't remember which corner it is. It's hard to tell in the case because it's kind of pushing it together, I guess. But there's like it's lifting up right there, maybe just a hair. See it? But I've seen other cards like that get 10s, so I just went ahead and sent it in because based off what I traded for it, I really only had 75 in it. So I figured $100 to grade it. If it gets a 9, I'll sell it for $200 after eBay fees and shipping. I'll make my money back. And if it gets a 10, we'll keep it because we don't have a 10 in our collection. So I wasn't too disappointed with that. And then this is the stamp box promo. Shout out to Twice Baked Jake, because if it wasn't for him, I would have never even really seen this card. I never really got into the Japanese promos before, but because of his channel, me and my son have really been getting into them. And this one right here, I really like it. It also came with the Cramorant, and this is like prevalent in Japanese culture, this artwork, and it's called Lady Looking Back. The Cramorant had like a hickey or fisheye or whatever you want to call it, printing defect on the back, and had a white spot over here on the back and was off center. So I think we picked the box up for a little over 200. Sold the Cramorant for 70. So I think we have like 120 in the Pikachu, 100 to grade it, but I was pretty confident in the 10 because Japanese quality, a majority of the time, is almost perfect. So you're shooting for 10s on Japanese. Sometimes 9s can even be worth less than raw because a lot of times people expect the raw ones to get a 10, and it did get a 10, which that's one of my favorite cards I think I've ever graded. This one is the big one. This is the one that I needed it to get a 10. I might potentially eventually sell these two, but I doubt I'll sell the Steph, and I doubt I'll ever sell this because that's just a beautiful card. So I bought this off a Facebook group for $440, and I drove 3 hours to get it, and I cut it out of the little pack because it was still in the original sleeve, out of the little promo clear sleeve that some of the promos come in. This came with a book, like sealed in the back of the book, and I had to have it. You know, I wish the Brilliant Stars one, while I do like the Brilliant Stars alternate art with Venusaur and Charizard, there's just something about this one that pops, and it got a 10. So if I didn't already throw up values of the other ones, I'll throw them up, but that's $1,200 is about what that's worth. And in the pack, it looked like it had a print line down the middle, but I could tell from the guy's photo that the line went up above the edge of the card, but other people weren't really willing to buy it. So I offered him $440 because I think they were doing like $600, and I told him, hey, you're 3 hours from me, I'll drive and come pick it up tomorrow. And I went and picked it up the next day. It was about a week before Christmas, I believe. And yeah, sent it off to be graded 2 weeks ago, and here it is. It's definitely one I like. The population on some of the Japanese ones kind of worries me a little bit because there's over 1,000 10s, but as popular as Pokemon is, I don't think that's too big of a deal, especially on a card like this and Charizard and Venusaur on it. So it's definitely one of my favorites. So yeah, just a couple quick numbers on this. We sent this off, and it went door to door from the day I dropped it off to be shipped and the day it arrived back, from a Thursday to 2 weeks later on a Thursday morning is how quick it went there and back. So I was pretty impressed with the turnaround for $100 a card, because I know they think they're advertising like almost 6 weeks, and I've seen people say 3 to 4 weeks, but 2 weeks exactly door to door was pretty impressive. So we're gonna send off some more cards to be graded soon. I have some Pokemon cards that my son pulled that we're going to send off. I have another one of these Sergio Ramoses on its way that I plan on grading. So I'm going to send that off soon. And then the Japanese Celebrations Charizard. See if I can pull this stuff out real quick. Don't know if I can pull it out without knocking stuff down because I'm actually have all this setting on the case. Don't have a desk set up right now like normal to do videos because this was kind of unexpected. I'm going to send that to BGS because I measured it with the centering tool. And if you don't have one of these centering tools, definitely recommend it. But the centering on it is 50-50-50. That's, you can find that on eBay right there. Centering is 50-50-50 all the way around, front and back. No whitening, perfect edges, nothing on the surface that I could see. So this one's going to go to BGS, and if it gets a black label, then I'll sell it. If it gets a BGS 10, I will probably still sell it, honestly. But I'm hoping for a black label, and then I'm definitely going to keep all three of these. If it just gets a BGS 10, I will most likely have the Gengar available for sale. That way my whole order will be paid for, and essentially the Steph, this Charizard, and that Pikachu will be free, and we can add them to our collection. So, and these are all part of my son's collection, so these, once they're graded, these of course won't be for sale. These are all ones he pulled. He pulled this and the Rainbow Brilliant Stars Arceus V-Star out of the same Elite Trainer box, which is pretty crazy. And then just some of his Celebrations cards. So we'll have this coming back in another video pretty soon. Some of those cards that I just showed. And I'm debating crossing the Nolan over, especially with the hot start he's had to the season. Everybody knows from my Instagram that's my favorite player in all of sports right now is Nolan. Was buying his cards a couple years ago. Unfortunately, I sold most of them to kind of grow the Pokemon collection with my son and grow the soccer collection because I feel like soccer is really undervalued, and buying some of the pre-modern legends. I learned a lot about those players from a couple channels on YouTube that I've been watching. I've been wanting to buy Robert Lewandowski's cards for a while, and I just never really had the courage to do it, and finally did it. But to get those, I had to sacrifice the camo out of 15 Nolan, but I still have the out of 100, and I know it's just 2 weeks into the season for them. I think they've played 13 or 14 games, but he is just on fire. So hopefully this is his year, because if he didn't play in Colorado the first 8-9 years of his career, he would already have an MVP. So I'm really hoping to see one this year. So no, I'm rambling on a little bit past the return, but just wanted to show those off. So yeah, everything got pretty much exactly what I expected. Like I said, we got these 4 10s, so the Steph, that, and then the 2 9s that I showed. So all in to these grading fees, what I paid for the cards, shipping, everything, I was all in for $1,500, and they're worth about $3,200. So my original plan was to sell half of that and keep the other ones for free, but I'm gonna wait until this comes back, because then I'll be all in for about $1,800, and if I can sell this for $600, then these two already being sold for $600 will mean $1,200. So then I'll just sell the Gengar, and these cards will be free. That's the good part about grading. Just trying to do it to build the collection, because otherwise I don't really have the type of income to be able to afford to buy all this stuff outright. So to be able to grade, sell some stuff, or to be able to pick up some lots and sell some stuff and then use the money to get cards you really want is kind of what I'm shooting for. So that's just a beautiful card. Hopefully we get to keep this, but I think the only way I'll probably keep it is if this black labels. I know it has a chance, but I know that's a really hard thing to do. It is easier to do in Japanese. I think there probably is a handful of these that have black labeled. So hopefully we'll see that back in a week or so. So yeah, if you don't care, just drop a comment below. Normally I would have like the eBay link for these to be available, but they sold instantly after listing. I sold this one for $200 and that one for I think $389. I listed them just below the last comps because I'm just trying to move them pretty quick. So normally I'll have the links in there. Like whenever this one comes back, I'll make sure to try to get the video uploaded before it gets listed. That way if anybody wants it, they can have their shot at it. But yeah, I appreciate everybody watching, and please subscribe if you haven't already. Drop a comment below and let me know what you think. See you in the next one.